Many people hear startup and think it's just any new business, maybe like your uncle opening a new chicken rice stall down the road, hoping to make a good living. But actually, a startup is a very different kind of beast, you know? It's a company designed to grow really, really fast. It's not about just steady profit from day one, it's about searching for a repeatable and scalable business model. Startups aim for massive markets, sometimes global ones, and they are built to scale quickly if they find the right formula. This often means using technology to reach many customers efficiently and disrupt existing industries, really shake things up, Every startup journey, no matter how grand it eventually becomes, usually starts with a spark, an idea. This initial spark is often born out of a moment of inspiration or a sudden realization. It could happen anywhere, during a casual conversation, while reading a book, or even in the shower. The key is recognizing that this spark has the potential to grow into something much bigger. This is the ideation stage. Here, the idea is nurtured and developed. Teams come together to brainstorm, discuss, and refine the concept. They explore different angles, consider various possibilities, and start to shape the raw idea into a more concrete vision. Maybe someone sees a problem that many people face, a real pain point, and thinks, hey, got a better way to solve this or not? This is where the magic happens. Identifying a genuine problem and coming up with a unique solution is the foundation of any successful startup. Once they have an idea they feel strongly about, the next crucial step is to build a minimum viable product, or MVP. This is a basic version of the product that includes just enough features to satisfy early customers and provide feedback for future development. An MVP is the simplest version of the product that allows the team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with the least effort. It's a way to test the waters without diving in headfirst. After launching the MVP, the startup enters the critical phase of searching for product-market fit. This is where the real work begins. The team must analyze user feedback, understand their needs, and make necessary adjustments to the product. This stage involves a lot of listening to customer feedback, iterating on the product, tweaking features, and maybe even changing the target audience until things just click. It's a process of continuous improvement and adaptation. If a startup successfully achieves product-market fit, then it's time for scaling. This is when the startup can start to grow rapidly, expanding its reach and impact. The journey from "wah idea" to "can make it" is challenging but incredibly rewarding. Startups, especially those with big ambitions to scale fast, often need more money than the founders can chip in from their own savings. This initial phase is often referred to as bootstrapping, where founders use their own resources to get the business off the ground. However, bootstrapping can only take you so far, especially if your startup requires significant capital for product development, marketing, or scaling operations. This is where external funding becomes crucial. External funding can come from various sources, each with its own set of advantages and challenges. One of the first sources of external funding is angel investors. These are usually wealthy individuals who invest their own money into early-stage startups. They often provide not just capital but also valuable mentorship and industry connections. Angel investors are crucial for startups that are in their infancy and need a financial boost to get to the next level. Then you have venture capital, or VC firms. These are professional investment firms that manage a pool of money from various investors and invest this money into promising startups that they believe have high growth potential. VC firms typically come in at a later stage compared to angel investors and can provide much larger sums of money. They also bring a wealth of experience and a network of contacts that can be invaluable for scaling your business. Another important part of the funding ecosystem, especially for very early-stage startups, are accelerators and incubators. These programs offer not just funding but also mentorship, office space, and a structured program to help startups grow. It's important to understand that getting funding is not the goal itself, it's a means to an end. The ultimate aim is to build a sustainable and successful business. So choose your funding sources wisely and make sure they align with your long-term vision. When people talk about startup culture, they often picture open-plan offices, young people in t-shirts, ping-pong tables, and maybe free-flow coffee or even beer. While those things can be part of it, the real essence of startup culture goes much deeper. It's fundamentally about how the team works together to navigate extreme uncertainty and drive innovation. One key aspect is having lean teams. Another core tenet of startup culture is the willingness to pivot. Then there's the fail-fast mindset. Ultimately, a strong startup culture fosters continuous learning, rapid iteration, and a relentless focus on the customer. It's less about the perks, and more about the mindset of building something new against the odds. Let's look at some real-world examples, so this isn't just all theory, okay? Take Airbnb for instance. Today, it's a giant in the travel industry, a household name where you can book unique places to stay all over the world. But it started small, with a very specific problem. The founders, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, couldn't afford their San Francisco rent. They noticed a big design conference was coming to town and all the hotels were booked out. So their idea was to rent out air mattresses in their living room to conference attendees. That was their first MVP, Air Bed and Breakfast. They took photos, put up a simple website, and got their first customers. Now we must talk about the tough part, the reality check. For every success story like Airbnb or Stripe, there are many startups that don't make it. The statistics are quite sobering, you know. Some studies suggest that around 90% of startups fail. One of the most common reasons is that they build something nobody wants. Another major reason for failure is running out of cash. Sometimes, even good ideas fail because the timing is wrong, or the team can't execute well enough, or they get outmaneuvered by competitors. The key takeaway here is the importance of solving a painful problem with a scalable solution. So, what is it that allows some startups to beat those daunting odds and achieve massive success? It's a question that has intrigued many aspiring entrepreneurs and seasoned business experts alike. It's rarely just one thing, La. The journey to success is often a complex and multifaceted one. Often it's a combination of factors coming together almost like a perfect storm. These elements must align in just the right way to create a thriving business. One crucial ingredient is the willingness to take on significant risk. Without risk, there is no reward, and startups must be prepared to venture into the unknown. Innovation is, of course, at the heart of most successful startups. It's about creating something new, something that solves a problem or meets a need in a way that hasn't been done before. Timing is a tricky one, but so incredibly important. Launching too early or too late can make or break a startup. Successful startups often have an uncanny ability, or sometimes just good luck, to hit the market at just the right moment when conditions are ripe for their innovation to take hold and spread rapidly. This timing can be influenced by market trends, consumer behavior, and even broader economic conditions. Ultimately, startups thrive at this fascinating intersection of calculated risk, genuine innovation, and opportune timing. It's a delicate balance that requires insight, agility, and, sometimes, a bit of serendipity. There's no magic formula, and luck always plays a part. But with the right mix of these elements, a startup can navigate the challenges and emerge successful.